Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have another request that I'm doing. I had a request to do some poses for ankle and feet stretches and things like that. So that's what I'm gonna be covering today. I'm gonna do more of a casual, just kind of talking about the poses rather than necessarily guiding like I normally would. So come to your mat and I'll show you what we are doing first. So the first pose that we'll go over is a mountain pose. For this one, we'll come onto the mat and just stand. So we want the feet to be about hip bone distance apart. So right below where the hip bones are, that's where you want your feet to line up. We'll lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, place them back down. Take a moment to find the full alignment of the pose. So you're going to engage the quads, the core, softening the shoulders, rolling them down and back. Making sure we have a long spine, not hunching over, opening up here. And then the head is in line with the spine. So we're reaching up through the crown of the head here. We want the palms facing forward and the fingertips point down towards the earth. So this is your mountain pose. Now, what we can do here is take a moment to rock back and forth. So we'll go from the heels to the toes and just rock. What this does is this will evenly distribute the weight on your feet, and it will prevent a condition called plantar fasciitis. That is a condition where the tissue in your feet connecting the heel bone to the toes gets inflamed. So when we do this, it helps to prevent that condition. So we're just kind of rocking back and forth. And then we'll come back to our mountain pose here. We'll take this into a forward fold, so taking a breath in. And as you exhale, we'll fold forward, hinge at the hips. Now you can also rock back and forth in your fold here as well. So we'll turn to the side so you can see. Relaxing the head, you can place your hands on the ground for support. You can also bend the knees if you need to. And just rock back and forth on the feet. And then for the next pose, we'll come down and have a seat. So for this one, we will find our staff pose or Dandasana. So we're extending the legs straight out. We'll start with the feet flexed so the toes point towards the face. You can prop yourself up here, placing the hands on the sides, or you have the option, if you have blocks, you can place those here so that you can be propped up all the way if you have short hands or short arms. So for the ankle and feet part of this pose, we're just gonna be flexing the feet in the two different directions. So first we'll flex the feet toward the face and then point the toes. Toes point towards the face, point the toes. And just go back and forth. You can also move with the breath. So I would do inhale, toes towards the face. Exhale, point the toes. Even though we're just moving the feet, it's always nice to link it with the breath, no matter what movement you're doing. And what this will do is this will just strengthen all the muscles around your ankles. So. So we'll move on to the next one. For this next one, they specifically requested, I think it's called Vajrasana or Thunderbolt pose. So for a lot of people, this is really uncomfortable. I know this because I have taught a lot of beginner yoga classes, and for a lot of people's bodies, the bum will just not come to touch the heels. In child's pose, in Thunderbolt, it's just not it's just not compatible with your body. So if that's the case, do what you can, or if it totally feels wrong for your body, then maybe choose a different pose or modify as you can. So with that in mind, we will come. So this would be the pose. We're coming and kneeling, and I'll turn around in a second to show you what it looks like from behind. But we're sitting directly on the heels in this specific pose. So from the side, it looks like this. I'm gonna have a long spine here. This is gonna stretch the front of the ankles. So from behind, you want the feet going straight back. So we're not like sickling the feet in like this. We just want the feet going straight back. We're sitting directly on the heels. And if this hurts the ankles, there's a few options here. You can, so just like in my shoulder stand video, I use the towels as a makeshift prop because I don't have the yoga blankets. So you can really use anything here. You can use towels like I'm using, you can use a blanket, a yoga blanket, or just any regular blanket that you may have. But the option you have here is you can lay it across your calves like this and then sit. So that will give you a little bit of cushion and not put so much pressure on the ankles here. So another thing you can do is grab a block and just wedge it right underneath where you're about to sit down. So I have it just on the lowest height right here, just like this, sliding it back, sitting directly on it. So in this modification, there is really no pressure for me on my ankles. So I can kind of feel what the pose feels like without being totally like pressing down on the ankles if that's a little too much for your body today. So this, if you were going to meditate, this would be a great way to modify to be a little bit more comfortable in the pose. And you can always adjust the block if you want it a little higher. You can, adjust. I probably wouldn't have it to the highest setting, but if you wanted to do the medium like that, that could work for you. It's a little bit uncomfortable for my body, but see what works for you. And then I know the person that requested this video asked for a specific variation where you lay the arch of your foot on your other foot. Or I have it on my phone so I didn't forget what it was asking. So it says sitting and putting one arch on top of the other foot. So I'm guessing this is what you're talking about, where you lay an arch like this on your other foot. I personally, out of the 600 hours of yoga training I did, I never learned that specific variation. So I don't really know exactly what you would want to get out of that specific modification there. So I'm guessing here you would lay the top of the arch of the foot on top of the bottom arch of the other foot, like that. For me, all I feel is pressure on the bottom arch of the foot that's underneath. I don't know necessarily if that's helpful. I never learned that as something that you should do. So I'm just gonna put that in there for the person that requested it. I'm sorry if that didn't help you, but I don't really want to recommend a certain specific way for you to do something if I am not totally knowledgeable on that specific pose. So the other ways I learned are definitely modifications I learned in school, and I know that they work. For this one, I would say it's okay to do. I don't really think it's something that I would practice personally. I don't really see the benefit of doing this posture. So let me see the other side. Yeah, I would probably leave that out of my practice and focus on the other ones that I showed. Just regular thunderbolt pose, laying on the heels will stretch it out quite a bit. The only other variation I can think of that you can definitely do is to stretch out the bottom of the feet and like underneath the toes. You can curl the toes underneath when you're in the pose, like this. Now this is kind of an intense stretch, so you're gonna feel it along the whole bottom of the foot. You can also do one foot at a time, but I feel like that's even more intense because all the pressure is on one foot versus sharing the pressure between the feet. So you can play around with that one. I wouldn't do this for a very long period of time. It's a very intense stretch for me, for my feet, but it is an option. From behind, really all you're doing the same thing. You're just sitting on the heels, curling the toes underneath versus having the feet down like this. So those are probably the top poses for feet and ankles that I would recommend. I hope this video helps you out if that's what you're looking for. I actually once upon a time broke both of my feet, so I'm very grateful to be able to walk. I mean, that was about 2 years ago. I had around 6 weeks where I couldn't walk anymore. And yeah, I healed, and I can still feel the parts in my feet that were broken, but for the most part they healed up, so I don't ever notice a difference in my feet. So I can still do all those different stretches. There are, I'm sure, more, but those are the ones that are the most beneficial to me and the ones that I would recommend the most. So I hope this video helped you out. I am so excited to have got my second request to do a specific video. So definitely please request more things that you want to see, and hopefully I can help you out with that. And I kind of enjoyed this video because it's a little more, I don't know, can't think of the word I want to use. It's a little more relaxed rather than trying to be professional and guide through specific poses. So I like kind of doing both types of videos, and yeah, so that's what I got for today. I hope I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm posting a couple other videos either today or tomorrow. I did a little bit of decorating around the house, so I'm going to do one on just the before and after of like what my room and the living room looks like, as well as I'm going to post a sleep-based meditation on my channel. So it's called a Yoga Nidra, and that will be up either tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, and I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment below if you have any requests, and let me know if you like this video. Thanks, guys. Bye.